let's open this package from Cutlery Shoppe. Came in pretty quick, 2-day shipping. I used the free option, and I'm very excited to open this up. So I just want to make sure, yep, it's still recording. So we're going to use my newest knife, which is also from Cutlery Shoppe. It is the Spyderco Native Chief, and I believe it's still available right now. However, this knife in here that we're opening up is not available. It sold out now, so unfortunately that is a fact in this video. But however, it seems like this company, Cutlery Shoppe, is trying to push a lot of nice, cool exclusives from Spyderco. So even though these exclusive videos, the knife might be sold out, there's more coming. It's good to be aware of these things if you're interested in something like this and you want to check them out and check out what these companies are doing, and there's usually more coming from them. So, and you'll see in a minute why I'm also saying that. So this is the original packaging from Cutlery Shoppe. I used a free shipping option. It looks like they put extra tape on there. I only put just a little cover over my address, and that is an adhesive. So we cut the tape. I think we cut the adhesive too. So I'm really excited to open this up. And this knife I've been very happy with. So I did talk about it beforehand. I'll probably post a second video, or video 1 of 2. 2 will be the unboxing of this new knife in my collection. So yeah, Cutlery Shoppe. It seems like they like orange. They like using orange. They like putting out these Spyderco's exclusive with orange. There's been a few other ones other than just this one, and yeah, they do throw some extra goodies. I've noticed, which is kind of cool. So decent packaging, good packaging. I don't eat candy very often at all, so I mean that's cool that they put these in there. It just shows that they're trying just to be cool. They're trying to make customer satisfied. They throw in these keychains. I've gotten this on the last one with the Native Chief, which was my first purchase from Cutlery Shoppe. And yeah, I've used this on my key fob, and it's held up. Cutleryshoppe.com. That's cool. And sticker, as you can see, I had a sticker from them on that first order, so I put it there, and a pen as well. So yeah, some free goodies. Nothing wrong with that. That does not hurt. Got a pen. I'll put this aside. So yeah, good packaging. We got some of those peanuts in there. We got this little bit of bubble plastic wrap. I'm very excited to open this knife. I do not have this Spyderco in any way, shape, or form in the original version or anything like that. I've never actually handled this Spyderco that we're about to open. So you'll see what that is in a second. And I'm very excited, not only because it's got the exclusive steel and color variant, but it's the first time I've ever handled this knife. So this is a raw emotion, raw first-hand first impressions of this knife. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this Spyderco Shaman in CTS XHP. And I am really excited to open this. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever handled a Shaman, Spyderco Shaman, and wow. Looks like the centering is absolutely perfect. Make sure we got, I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna give you kind of my initial impressions of it. I did look up some of the specs. First impressions actually, the G10 is extremely smooth. It is very smooth. I knew it was gonna be contoured. I didn't know it was gonna be that smooth, which I do kind of like because it still feels grippy, but it's smooth. I mean, it feels just extremely comfortable. And I initially did that on purpose, where I didn't flick it out. I just wanted to see how smooth the action was by giving it very little flick. And as you can see, this Shaman, Spyderco Shaman, is in the stonewashed version, but it's not S30V. Like I said, this is CTS XHP. Now, from what I can tell from my research, all the exclusives for the Spyderco Shaman has been in a satin. They've all been satin blades, which is nice. I do like satin. And I think MC mentioned this, the only stonewash variant, you know, I think he said that in a video a few months ago. The only stonewash version you could get was the original S30V. So this was kind of a surprise to me that they did a stonewash. I believe this might be the very first stonewashed version of an exclusive Shaman. You know, this knife also, first-hand impressions, is it does feel pretty compact. It doesn't feel really that big, and it feels almost kind of like the Manix 2, but with more contouring. It feels very much like the Manix 2. For my first impressions, obviously the Manix 2 is not a compression lock, but it feels a lot like that, just very, very contoured and very smooth handle scales. And I'm really excited to try this knife out, guys. I mean, I'm super stoked. But yeah, like I was saying, this has the stonewashed, it's got the stonewashed blade, so I believe this is the very first stonewashed Spyderco Shaman that's an exclusive steel, because before you can only get the S30V version, the original version. I like how it has kind of that hole in between the bolts for the screws for the pocket clip. That's kind of cool. You know, I don't think Spyderco has any deep carry clips. The deepest carry I've seen is basically how they mount that clip, and depends on the knife. If you look at like a pair of three, well, this doesn't have that hole in the center, but it's definitely not deep carry because that clips it so low. And that's one thing I've noticed about the pair of 3 is it just sticks out so much. It's really noticeable. But yeah, I like to see them try and get the pocket clip as high as they can, because they don't use, from what I can see, from the knives I bought from Spyderco, they don't have deep carry pocket clips. So, but anyways, yeah, this does feel pretty light. It doesn't feel too heavy. It feels kind of medium weight, and definitely like the stonewash blade, the bevel, the grind. Let's check out the edge. The edge does seems slightly, looks like it goes slightly further there to more shallow here. Like the tip kind of has a lower angle on both sides. At least it's symmetrical. You know, the grind, not the grind, the edge is something that can easily be changed, and I usually change it. But lately I've been trying to keep the factory edge and just seeing how it performs out of the box. Like on this one, on the Native Chief, I actually haven't put a new edge on it. I've very, very lightly stropped it, like two or three kind of slides on each side at the same angle as the factory edge, and that's the longest I've gone, I think, in like the last year with a new knife without putting a new edge on it, because I actually want to see how the edge performs. I think it's interesting to see how the edge performs from the factory and out of the box. So for the Spyderco Shaman, obviously you get some paperwork with it. This is an exclusive with CTS XHP, high carbon, high chromium alloy that can be described as either a high hardness 440C or a corrosion resistant D2. I think it's its own thing. I honestly feel like it's very comparable to the S35VN type steel. It just is like, it kind of gives up a little bit of stainlessness to add a little bit better edge retention, and in my opinion, I prefer that. You know, it doesn't need to be extremely stainless. I do keep my knives pretty clean. I think for EDC use, most people do. You know, if they cut something dirty, or if it leaves smudges on the blade, they're going to wipe it off with their shirt or with even some soap and water and dry it out. You know, I feel like for an EDC use, it doesn't need to be extremely stainless, because it's not like a survival use where you're gonna be in the rain or something, and I don't know. That's my opinions on it. But yeah, this knife does actually feel pretty compact. I believe the weight was advertised at 5.2 ounces. I've seen a couple different things on their website, on Cutlery Shoppe's website. They advertise it as 5.2 ounces. Let's check out the weight. 5.20 on the dot. That's the very first time I think I've ever seen that. That's cool. That's awesome. It's right on the dot. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, spot on. You can see, like I said, the centering is perfect. I like to see this. I like to see that the tip of the knife blade go out as far as possible in there, because it's using every single piece of handle material to be as long of a blade as possible. You know, there's a couple of knives which I own that it seems like it's not utilizing the whole handle length, and both of these knives you see here, they definitely utilize that handle length. I mean, it literally, the tip goes out as far as it can. And yeah, they originally, Cutlery Shoppe had an exclusive Spyderco Shaman with the DLC blade, and I missed out on that. I logged in about 20 minutes after it was up, you know, after they were starting to be sold, and they were already sold out. It was only about 20 minutes after the release of the, everything you see here, I believe is the same. You know, it's got the orange G10, and it had black DLC. Same color code as this, but you know, Spyderco Shaman. And I missed out on that. I was 20 minutes late, and I did hold off on buying this. This was still available, and then I ended up buying this Native Chief just because I don't have one. I don't have a Native 5 either, and I feel like that was like kind of a similar design. And yeah, I just wanted to check it out. Like I said, that lockback design does have its place for collection, for your arsenal. But yeah, this knife is absolutely amazing. This Spyderco Shaman. For my first impressions, I really like this knife. I really love the contouring of it. I like the neutral top part of the handle, and there's not too crazy jimping. The jimping's only on the back part of the top of the blade. It's got nice forward choil, and it doesn't feel too heavy. It feels very well balanced. It's very smooth, and the stone-washed variant is unique because all the other exclusives I've seen are in satin blade, and I definitely prefer CTS XHP over S30V and over S35VN, and maybe even, you know, what I've seen with 20CV is it's a little chippy sometimes, depending on how steep the angle is, and it also, yeah, anyways, I think I might prefer just a slightly tougher steel than you know, 20CV. I'm not sure. I believe this XHP is a little bit tougher. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it does not have as good as edge retention or stainlessness, obviously, CPM 20CV. But either it's on par with the toughness, you know, these two, 20CV and XHP, or XHP is slightly tougher. I'm not sure. I'll have to relook that up again. But I haven't noticed this chip at all like 20CV does. I guess it depends on also the edge geometry and the grind and everything like that. And speaking of grind, this is a high saber grind for the Spyderco Shaman here. You know, they still leave a flat unground portion at the very top there, and that high saber, very high saber, just runs along the same, basically the same length of grind where you're looking at on the edge. And yeah, it's a really nice knife. Nice forward choil. The weight, like we went over, it's 5.2 ounces. The blade stock is 0.145, so decently thick blade stock there. However, it is a pretty tall blade with a tall grind, so that's going to help. Not sure how thin it is behind the edge, but it should help it be pretty slicey. It's essentially almost like a full flat grind. It's just the high saber is just, they're leaving a portion unground at the top. But yeah, the length is the full length with opened up is over 8 inches. It's around 8.3, 8.4 inches for the whole length. I think it's advertised at 8.3. It looks like it's 8.45 on my scale here. And the handle length is, I think it's 5.8 Actually, I don't know what the hell like this. Let's see. This is not. Well, if it's a 3.6 inch blade, so it's 4.85. Should be 4.85 inch length for the handle. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit more compact as far as the length than the Native Chief. However, the Native Chief is thinner, so you know, it's just a completely different design. It may look very similar, and it do have similar attributes. You know, like the whole neutral top part of the knife is a very neutral design. Completely different locking systems. Even the G10 is smooth on the Shaman, whereas it's rough on the Native Chief. However, I've noticed with rough G10 from Spyderco, just using it in and out of the pocket, it does smooth it out quite a bit. But yeah, first impressions on the Spyderco Shaman. Exclusive CTS XHP from Cutlery Shoppe. So let me know what you guys think. Those are just my first impressions. I have not used this knife, haven't cut anything with it. Now that we're actually talking about that, let's just see how it cuts. It's pretty good. Oh yeah. Spyderco Shaman. This might be my new favorite knife. Thanks. Let me know what you guys think. Alright.